Nemausus I, a state-financed social housing project built in 1986 by Jean Nouvel. All the apartments were reserved for people on moderate incomes. In the 1980s, the mayor of Nîmes, Jean Bousquet, decided to develop the town and modernize it through architecture. 16 projects involving renowned architects were launched. The most ambitious project was the Médiathèque, which was to be built in the heart of the town, opposite the Roman Maison Carrée. In the competition for the Médiathèque, two entries stood out: that of Jean Nouvel, who was just putting the finishing touches to the Arabic Institute in Paris, and that of the renowned British architect Norman Foster, which was eventually chosen. But Bousquet was so impressed with Jean Nouvel that he gave him carte blanche on a new project of social housing to be built in a residential area close to the exterior boulevards, where in the 1960s the first housing project of the town had been built. The local authorities had purchased a large site previously occupied by an electric installations factory. Now only the tree-lined forecourt where the employees had enjoyed their breaks remained. Nemausus I consists of two long buildings which border this tree-lined forecourt. This has become the central greenery of the project, which both separates and unites two distinct buildings. The architect was not permitted to build an underground car park, the authorities having planned the forecourt for this purpose. But Jean Nouvel insisted on preserving the greenery of the forecourt. By digging down into the ground and raising the buildings onto concrete pillars, he managed to create an open-air car park that also protects vehicles from the elements. It's possible to see from one side of the estate to the other under the buildings. The two buildings appear to be identical, but they are not the same length, as Jean Nouvel had to adapt to the irregular shape of the site. Seen from the front, they have the same rounded bow-like heads. The treatment at the back is more brutal. The shorter building ends in a sloping wall. The longer in a vertical wall supported by two concrete walls in the shape of rudders. The walkways, the verandas, and the thin screen roof give the buildings the appearance of two large ships.
Having a style means sticking to a formal system and reproducing it whatever the circumstances. In that sense, I don't have a style. For me, each building is a unique expression. What's important is that the building has strong identity, that you know where you are, that you know you're not in a neighboring building. With Nemausus I wanted to lay down the ground rules for social housing in the 1980s, to get back to the old, forgotten principles of space, light, and air.
L'espace, la lumière, l'air.
Space, light, and air. Clean, healthy, comfortable housing for the people. These were the principles of social housing in France from the middle of the last century to Le Corbusier's Cité radieuse. But architects were under pressure to meet the huge post-war demands for social housing, and quality had to make way for quantity. In 1950, new apartments were built smaller than in 1920, and in 1970, the biggest 6-room apartment measured a mere 90 square meters. At Nemausus 1, the smaller 3- or 4-room apartments measure between 90 and 110 square meters. The larger ones between 120 and 170 square meters. It is not only the surface